Hello. Today on Book of Summer, we're going to be a between arc session. So maybe we will role play or not, but mostly it's just a figure out what we're going to do next in this.
Everyone is exhausted.
I did not prepare much, if at all anything. So we are going to actually talk about last time where you guys closed the chapter of the soggy moles. You figured out the problem, and I believe Chestnut told you that somewhere out west in a city called Stormbrook, there is a mayor named Temperance who can help finding out what was going wrong, because these soggy moles had like ichor coming out of their eyes. And I believe Pico like got a little bit of a sample of it. And right now, and you guys tell me, what would you do next? What would your characters want to be doing next?
Prepare for the journey, I suppose.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Francis has latched onto this group, so as long as they're together, he's like, okay, let's go. I'll do whatever.
Yeah,
Nice.
We're probably not equipped for a long journey yet, so makes
No.
sense.
So then also, I think you guys leveled up last time as well, correct?
We were allowed to. I haven't done so.
Okay. I mean, we can also take time to do that right now.
That would be great.
Let's do that. If you haven't leveled up, let's level up now. And those of you who did level up, you're level 5?
Mm-hmm.
So what we got for level 5 was like we get an extra class,
Yes.
and I think there may have been a few other things, but
So you are at 2,000 XP or about there, a little over.
Yeah, it's 2120.
And so, yeah, all you get at level 5 is extra class. And then what happens is your HP and MP are increased. You gain 3 points to divide between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And then your carrying capacity increases by 1.
Yes, so I'm just making a note of it on the official record. I increased my HP to 35, and my MP is now 17.
Holy moly.
You're strong, boy.
My carrying
Yeah.
capacity is now 19.
Holy jeez.
So I made note of that at the end of the last session, because
right.
because I've been really neurotic about like making sure I get the points right, because I think I
Yeah.
messed that up with Babu. I think I shorted myself a couple points here and there.
Probably.
Didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Babu was also a very,
He had a fat stack
OP.
of MP.
yeah.
He had a fat stack of MP.
So
but
I'm making a note that Francis has 35 HP.
I've got 24 base because of my high strength, I think, when I made him. And then I put 7 level up points into it, and then I've got +4 for being in the attack class. 35.
Dang. And then what was your extra class that you chose?
That I forgot to do. I meant to do that between sessions, but I did not. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. I was leaning towards something like farmer so that we could have a pack animal.
Well,
That makes
you-
sense.
Oh, and you did just plant a bunch of trees.
This is true.
I actually picked farmer. Well, like when I
Oh,
Oh,
now
Well,
you guys are all farmers.
I figured it made sense since Musashi already had his chicken pack animal that carried stuff, but also if you wanted to be a farmer too, we could do something amazing, because here's what I got for farmer. I think these are the skills, if I remember, or like
Yep.
whatever the features. I got robust. I got +1 to my constitution checks and +3 to my carry. So now my carry capacity is 20 at the moment.
and I'd have a 22.
And you'd have a 22.
Carry
got-
all the
I got-
things.
So the second one is animal owner. You can keep up to 3 animals, including the chicken included. So I can have 2 extra animals and carry them with me without paying costs for food and water. Like he just feeds them naturally off of
Yeah,
whatever
that's cool.
he has,
Okay.
whatever. So if you got farmer, we could have a total of 6 animals following us. Yeah.
Oregon Trail.
Oregon
Manifest
Trail.
destiny. You are going west.
And then the last one for farmer is side job, which is pick a skill from any of the other classes, but take a -1 to checks or like a penalty. Kind of like it's like they have that skill, but they're not proficient at it, but they can do it. So I got side job. The skill I picked was repair, so I could repair things, but it's a strength plus dex check -1. So that's what that is for me.
Okay, cool.
So I can kind of repair stuff. Probably, maybe. Who knows? You could probably repair stuff.
I think farmer's a good one to double up with because of that side job. Because
Yeah.
one farmer does not look like another farmer.
Yeah. The only thing is like for the side job, you kind of got the ones you pick to use as a side skill is kind of like iffy because of the -1. Say like if I was a farmer and then I pick weapons finesse from the noble class, it basically negates it. It's like because of the +1 to accuracy check and then plus the -1 for
You're
the
just mediocre.
side. Yeah, you're just mediocre. It's like you may as well just not have had one, you know. So you kind of got to pick one that's it could work, you know. Like you have to like you might be able to pick something from healing. If you doubled up on farmer, you'd pick healing, and then also you'd pick like the herb gathering from the healer's class. So you had to get those two from the healer class to make it worthwhile to have double farmer. But then I guess you could also just double farmer and have 6 animals regardless. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am going to do farmer.
okay.
And
Okay.
I'm going to take herb gathering as my secondary, my side job, because that's strength and int. And I can
Mhm.
see Francis basically like truffle hunting, like on all fours, sniffing around
Yeah.
Okay.
for roots and veggies and all kinds of stuff like that.
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
It was either going to be that or tracking, but I'm open to hearing either one. They're both useful, but like, is anybody taking healer? Do we know?
I'm doubling up with thief.
Double thief.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happens when you double your class?
Anything that involves a roll, you get a +1 to the roll. And then if it's something that's not a roll, I think you just get a second instance of it.
Like-
For the rolls, it's just adding a 1 to it.
Yeah. Any like numeric value you get.
Yeah, like my skills are sneaker, pilfer, tinker, and now it's sneak is dex +2 instead of dex +1, stuff like that. Oh, well, yeah, an example of doubling up is the noble class. Like if you have the weapon finesse, you can just master another weapon.
Right.
Or animal owner. You just get more animals.
Mhm.
More animals. We got a zoo. What was your HP again, Francis?
35?
35.
35. I'm behind you by 3 points.
32. Jeez.
I'm still 10 now.
Got a nice 14.
Yeah.
Francis is good at one thing, and that is being strong.
Mm-hmm. That means I'll have to make sure that there's lots of giant trees in your paths that you must lift and roll out of the way.
Do we have any artisans or anyone with trapping?
I do not.
I technically have trapping.
Okay.
It was
I don't- yeah.
my Barbarian class has a rummage ability, which works like trapping. I
got-
will say on the front end, I am terrible at it.
And
That's why.
then John has repair.
Yeah, I got repair from trapping. Or not. I got repair from artisan, excuse me.
Right.
Kristen, have you been thinking what to do for not Musashi,
Alfred.
Ulfred?
I feel like this is what happened last time. You kept calling him Musashi.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Names.
So artisan would kind of be moot. Like it's all of that stuff is covered. Plus I'd have to be better at dex, and I'm not currently. So I'm looking at noble and trying to justify it narratively.
Well, you are well written as a journalist, and that's kind of like a noble
I mean,
trait.
Musashi there could be like a cutscene where like Musashi is, because wait, Musashi, are you noble or merchant?
I'm noble. I'm nobility through association, essentially, and
Mhm.
just like his background of training in a self-defense bodyguard sort of situation.
Well, he's supposed to be a samurai, and
Yeah, he's
samurai
like a
were
samurai.
nobles.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Mhm.
part of the noble class, so that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Right. And I think for Ulfred, if we want to make it work, could it be basically a little bit of time while you guys are like getting to know each other, getting prepared for this journey, where you basically interview Musashi and learn a bunch of things about etiquette, refined education, and weapons grace?
Sure. And I feel like all of these skills make sense to me. It's just I think the name of the class is throwing me, because like etiquette and refined education, like those are interview skills
Yes.
that
Mhm.
theoretically he
Yeah.
has.
Yes. I think it
Weapon
works.
grace, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe noble kind of refers to like just
Yeah.
general social status.
You had
of,
to take
like,
fencing in college. I don't know.
Yeah.
An elective,
Mm.
just 1 credit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we could also do what we've been doing, which is
Sub in a third.
yes, and make it a new class.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do like PhD class where you basically get the etiquette and refined education, but if you don't want weapons, you could probably
Well, I was going to
get a
ask,
concentration in some sort of magic.
is Wilfred kind of like a field journalist? Have you been like out and about and doing things? Because like,
Oh yeah.
because like as a field journalist, you probably picked up some other skill, like I don't know, maybe first aid stuff, or even some botany skills like herb gathering,
Mhm.
things like that. Like
Okay.
depending on what kind of journalism Wilfred pursued, they could like pick up a skill from that, and you could justify it in that way if you want to.
Yeah, get a doctor class.
You shadowed a doctor and their whatever, they went over to help with a pandemic of some kind or
Oh,
whatever.
Lord.
You know, not
Too real.
yeah,
Yeah, we get you though. We get you.
yeah. Relief effort on something, yeah, something like that. I mean, yeah. I couldn't think of the word or the words.
Do you have refined education already with your other class? Because that would make a lot of sense for Ulfrid.
No. I have well-traveled, knowledge of
Mhm.
tradition, and then we subbed in insight for
Hmm.
the third thing.
If you're reading a bunch of mud affairs, you can probably get a decent education.
Of the lower classes, maybe, but that's, So etiquette, refined education. Is there like an opposite of etiquette? Impressing someone of low status?
Well spoken.
That
Reminds me of like folk hero.
Well, I was going to say merchant has well spoken, which is as merchant who earns blah, blah, blah. It's your communication skills are top notch, but that's well spoken. That's different, I guess.
it's different where it's like etiquette should be not colloquialism. It's something like that. Something there where it's like knowledge of
Maybe you know the jargon of some trade or
yes.
Easy talker.
I mean, let's do some Googling.
regular Joe.
Oh boy. Yep. There it is.
Let me take a minute and crack my soda.
Yep.
I don't know. Call it relatable.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
I don't know if he is, though. I think he could figure out how to talk to people
Hmm.
and how to get them to talk about themselves. I don't know if they could relate to each other, though.
Huh. I guess.
I didn't mean for this to be a tough one.
No, it's
There's a
interesting
word
'cause
for it.
It's like there's got to be because it's like when you
Slumming it.
approachable, like
Yeah, I think that's getting closer to what I'm thinking.
Which is so funny because he's a big fucking wolf.
yeah, I know.
But the glasses really
The glasses change everything. The glasses
Yes.
make it so he's super. It's like yeah.
Yes.
I would say
And his
something
lip-
along the lines of approachable. Let's see. Let me look at a thesaurus.
Socially comfortable.
Which is something Kristen is not. So that would be like another layer of stuff that's like really hard for me to roleplay.
Well, you can always just roll and say it worked out well. That's what I like doing with my character.
Yes, that's fine.
That's bad improv.
Yeah. Maybe just sociable.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of like, I think that would be maybe the best term for
Sort of a
that.
catch-all. So then what would that translate into mechanics-wise?
So basically, I would just keep the same thing with etiquette, where it's like when you're specifically trying to converse with somebody in a manner that is like gets them to open up. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then they feel comfortable. But I would use the etiquette role, which is Dex Int.
Accent.
Yeah, it's different
In
from the
spirit.
merchant.
I would do in spirit.
Yeah, that's more line with the merchant class for well spoken. Negotiation check is in spirit. And it's pretty similar because with the etiquette, that was basically just something that I remember using a lot of, not really in conversation, more like a just general impression. And well spoken seems to be more like an active thing that you do with someone, like negotiating. Makes sense. As opposed to look at all my fancy clothes.
So as part of research for a thing I'm writing, I read a manual about tailoring from 1878, don't ask. And they were talking about like to get the right measurement Like when you first approach somebody, they're gonna like puff their chest out and stand up real straight, and when you make a suit for that, it's not gonna fit them because they're gonna go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to, there's the exact same thing when you're interviewing somebody linguistically. So like you have to talk to them for a while first to get them to relax so that they are themselves.
Mm.
Then you can get an accurate read on how they speak or how they stand.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's really cool.
And that just made me think of that.
It takes a skill to even recognize that that's a case that
Yes.
you should account for.
That what I see at first glance is what they want me to see.
Yeah.
Which I guess goes into insight too, which is also we made int spirit. So I don't know if I'm maybe doubling up on something I don't need to.
Mm.
Well, because insight is more of an investigation, like reading somebody. And I think that with approachable or sociable, it's more of a getting them to open up
Mhm.
and say it themselves, be themselves essentially. Whereas,
Rather than me reading it.
yeah, rather than you
Yeah.
reading it.
The difference of what you can tell from something versus what someone can tell you.
Mhm.
Yes. And so I think insight would be one of those things where somebody's telling you something and that first, and you're like, oh,
I'm not so sure. Yeah.
I can tell something's up here. And then you would roll sociable to get them to actually open up and be themselves.
Okay. Yeah, I like I like the interplay there. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, based on those skills, it sounds like you're really well equipped for interview stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
trying. Like I said, Kristen just has to get better at it.
I just have to make characters that are a little bit more than just a piece of paper.
That's the thing. Like when I created the character, I was like, it's going to be a lot of work for me, but also you.
Yeah, that's okay. I will make sure that just know when an NPC comes up who is significant, maybe
Alfred is gonna pounce.
Yes, please do that. Like otherwise I will have thought about this character for too long. Oh no, I've developed this really hard nut to crack and you guys have tossed it to the side.
I'm sure it's happened before.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Sure.
Okay, so you're taking basically the noble class,
Yeah.
except for calling it like whatever. But you're taking, instead of etiquette, sociable, and then, well, no, you're taking etiquette, renaming it sociable. You have refined education, and then were you
No,
gonna do
I
something-
was keeping etiquette, I
Oh,
thought.
okay,
and
okay,
then
yeah.
Weapon grace was getting scrapped
Oh, okay, got it.
for the opposite
Sure,
thing.
sounds good. All right, I think that's everybody's character class. Anything else?
And maybe instead of noble, we just call it interviewer.
That's what this session is for, to figure this stuff out. So my next question to you guys is, how much money do you have between the four of you?
I have
Yeah.
110 written down.
As a side question, as quartermaster, am I supposed to keep track of all that as a party?
As quartermaster, you're supposed to keep track of all of the, not the money, not in people's individual money,
If we
Okay.
have like a common pool,
Mhm.
Okay.
I
yes,
don't think we do yet.
but you would be keeping track of all of the goods and rations and water and that stuff.
My character sheet says I have 1,000 gold, but I think that's a fat lie.
I think it's a lie.
I think we decided that he didn't have any because he don't know what money
Correct.
Because he ate
Correct.
it all.
He
'Cause he
ate all of
ate
his
it.
money.
I have 1,000 gold though.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
believe
have written
that.
down.
Yeah. I fully believe that the two adults of the party have actual money. Yes.
And Pico probably, Pico, you only have 100?
Yeah, 110.
Okay. So loading up on your guys' journey forward, I think you might not have enough to buy everything that you need with just Musashi's money.
Nope.
All right. So I guess next time is potentially shenanigans in Timbercliff to get money. Or do we want to just do vignettes right now where you guys are working for money?
I am fine either way. I do love the idea that we have a bunch of quick get rich quick schemes that fail miserably.
So there's a scene where you guys are at the what was the inn that I had here? Treetop Lodge. And you guys are trying to figure out ways to make money. Like Masashi has this giant pile of gold in front of him. Man, names. Pico is probably not showing any of his money.
Yeah, if he offers any, it's like 50 gold. This is all I have.
And
Will
then
this help?
Francis has nothing, has been eating his
Wood
wood
chips.
chips
Yeah.
Yes, when nobody's paying attention, he's subtly stealing wood chips out of the pile and eating them.
And then Ulfrid also has. You have money?
It says I have 1,000 from starting.
I
Okay.
believe it.
And I guess it's just like looking at each other, trying to figure out what to do, and you're going on your journey. So basically, here's a good question I need to ask you guys. I need 2 town names before Stormbrook,
Hmm.
and you're heading out west.
One's called Before the Storm. And then you get to Stormbrook.
It's like the suburb of Stormbrook.
Yeah, Before the Storm, then Stormbrook. Yeah.
Some kind of planned community.
Yeah, it's just Levittown.
Glossy Vale.
Okay. Interesting. I'm getting all sorts of weird vibes from this place.
I really like the concept of Before the Storm. I'm trying to think of names, weather names of things that happen before a storm, like
The calm before the
Rumbly.
storm.
Rumbly Town.
What's
or-
that word for the smell of rain? There's a word
Ooh.
for it.
Oh, I
don't
know.
know.
Let me look at that up. Petrichor?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad you said it. I don't know how to say that.
Sounds like a medicine.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's a little
Sounds like a fantasy animal to me. A
little
petrichor.
formal for a town name.
Oh yeah, it kind of does sound like an animal, like
a mythology.
like it's a manticore, except it's a petrichor because you
And
can
it'll-
pet it.
Oh, I was thinking petrification. Like
Oh yes, that makes more
so
sense.
it's like a manicore, but it's got like a Medusa's head somewhere, and it's like turned down or something.
Instead of an old man's head, it's a Medusa's head.
There
Yes.
you go. Yeah.
Part of this question of like what is the smell of rain called is also the question, is the smell of rain bad for you?
I have never in my life once thought that.
Despite its sometimes pleasant and clean smell, pure ozone is remarkably dangerous, and in relatively high concentrations, it can destroy cells in your lungs.
Hmm.
Luckily, the concentration of ozone before or after a thunderstorm is highly unlikely to do any lasting harm. So there's that. So we're still coming up with a name for Before Stormbrook.
It's O Town, but the O is for ozone.
Oh, no!
Oztown.
You know what? I believe that. I believe that there'd be a place called O Town, just straight up O Town.
Is that what you really wanted
Did you
to
guys go
call
to that
Wonderland
ranger in
Days?
O Town?
Except it's spelled funny. It's not like just a straight up O. It's like a combination of letters that make up O.
How about the name starts with an O, but just locals call it O Town? So it's like Oak Town or something
It's
like that.
Oscarville, but we just call it O Town.
It's going to be called Oscarville.
Oscarville.
Oh my god.
Everyone's there. Everyone's name is Oscar there.
It's named after the founder, Oscar, who's still alive.
Oh, that was my next question.
Welcome to
Scene-
up Topolis, but we call it O Town. No, yeah, Oscarville.
It's Oscarville.
Oscartown.
Senor Groucho.
We'll see what
Welcome
he
to
says.
Oscar Town.
It's muddy
Go
there.
see our mayor, Oscar Meyer.
He's a hot dog.
We're introducing sentient food up in this place.
Well, hi there. Welcome to Oscar Town.
Oh God.
Try our watered down sausages.
Yeah, there's a rival town called Meyerville, and it's about them having to come together.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Glossyville between here and Oscarville, and then Oscarville is before Stormbrook.
Their main export be bologna.
Yep.
Bologna.
I'm writing this stuff down, so therefore
I am too.
it is a real thing.
Oscarville, bologna, hot dog mayor.
He's not going to be a real hot dog, but he'll look an awful lot like a hot dog.
He has the same enthusiasm as Becky Ann does for spaghetti. he's,
Ooh.
he's hot dog.
A little intense.
Just too intense.
He's like a
Glossyville.
weird dog, but on his hind legs.
So would you think Glossyville is maybe like a small town?
Sure.
Okay. And then Oscarville is smaller
Oscar
than
Town.
whatever.
Can that be like the
We can make it
big?
Oscarville.
Could that be the big debate between like the people of Oscarville / town? Is like they have arguments over whether it's called ville or town. And
We're
they
not a
just-
village. And then
Not a town.
Technically, we're big enough to be a town, but
Hamlet.
what's bigger, a town or a village?
Oscar Hamlet.
Town.
Oscar
Yeah.
Hamlet.
Oscar.
Oscar Ton.
Just thinking of a very large fantasy town that was always in the map that we just never heard about.
It's huge, but it's like all ants. It's just the biggest ant town in all of Loam.
Their population is insane, but the amount of space to take up is very small.
Yes. Okay, Glossyvale, Oscarville.
Town.
Whatever. Glossyvale is a small town. Why is it called Glossyvale? Do they
Well,
make glue there?
It's in a vale,
Yeah.
and it rains all the time, so everything is kind of glistening and shiny.
I was thinking it could also be on whatever that body of water is in Timbercliff. I would assume it's a river
Yeah.
Could be on the river. Yeah, I like it.
and also very rainy.
And if there's a river going west, it would be definitely a good thing to follow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And Stormbrook had a river too, so maybe it's all the same river.
Different branches of
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
Okay. Because Stormbrook had the forge that was there that had a river in it, so
Right.
makes sense. Okay, cool. And you guys are, let's save the getting money stuff in Timbercliff before you leave off. So maybe next session, what we'll do is we'll have like a montage of you guys doing a bunch of jobs. So before then, figure out kind of what you want. Like, well, we can talk about what you guys want right now, so you can make the money for what you need to travel.
Oh, so like look at items and stuff and try to figure that out.
so that we can figure that out, and then you guys can make the money.
So
Making a wish list right now.
I would like a pack animal. I'm throwing that out there.
Are you a farmer?
Yes,
he is a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you can get 2 more. You can get 3 animals.
I
Yeah,
could,
yeah.
but I have to pay for them either
Yeah,
way.
they're expensive.
And I already have chicken.
Yeah, but is your chicken a pack animal or a riding animal?
It's a big pack animal. It can
Is
carry.
it?
It has a cart, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure that's
I
what
don't
put down.
Yeah, you.
Is it?
Shit.
So it's a large pack animal, so it can hold 30.
I
That's
got-
pretty good.
I got pack animal, barrel, chest, repair kit, 3 torches, fire kit, 2 things of soap, a washing set, and tent. That came in the party kit. And I also have my basic travel kit, which is a large backpack, sleeping bag, utensils, water, skin rations. I'm already good. Like I got a lot. But no, there's probably some
Yes.
stuff that I might want to bring. Like I might
Like
have to find.
Food.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like things for like status ailments, possibly. I'll have to
Mm.
see what's in the items, but like first aid items would be important.
I think it would be nice to have like water barrels and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't remember those being very expensive.
I have one.
I thought there was
barrel.
one in the party kit.
I
There was
have. Yeah,
one
I
in the
have
party
a
kit.
barrel. Yeah.
Yeah, the barrels cost 10 gold.
Oh wow.
So we might be okay if we just load up on food. I can't think of anything myself aside from stuff like that.
So like a pack animal is 500 gold. Just
So you'll have to get-
FYI.
So you want to get a pack animal still, Francis?
I don't know, because it's like, okay, let's see how much space does like
You
a tent.
don't want a buddy? You just don't want to bring like your own?
No,
little
I want a buddy, but like we need at least your party kit comes with a tent, right?
Oh yeah, yes. Sorry.
Okay, so we have a tent that can hold 3 people. Probably need a sleeping bag. Francis is definitely going to want a stuffed animal, clearly.
Oh,
Let's see. I'm trying to find the water barrel. Oh, okay.
It's-
15 days worth of water.
Yeah, 68.
So is that 15 for one person, I would assume?
it's for everybody. At least that's how it was
Yes.
played when I was doing
Mhm.
all that stuff.
Amber, what's your thought here?
Yes. It's 15 rations for your group.
Oh,
of
okay.
water.
I would probably want to get a second one of that just so, because like we'll die if we run out of water.
Yes.
Mhm.
And clean water while we're journeying seems like it'd be a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm. So to give you guys an idea of travel, I think Glossyvale is about 2 days away. I'm trying to see a picture of Loam. So to get to Stormbrook, it looks like it's going to be like 15 days worth of travel, depending on.
And that's assuming that we don't like flub our direction checks or whatever.
Right. So you guys are here. It says Timbercliff. And Stormbrook is here.
Oh,
There is
yeah.
a large forest that runs
Mm-hmm.
around this area. So you don't have to go into the forest if you want to, because it's
Where
like
did we
starting to
End
deep-
up in the last campaign.
you
That
guys
forest?
ended up here. This was where Duwin was, and then you guys ended up here.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I believe Dragon Song to Bluefield was what, a day and a half, 2 days, and then Bluefield to Stormbrook was another 4 days or so, and then Stormbrook to Duwin was 3 days. So I'm thinking this looks probably like 12
12 or
ish.
more,
Yeah,
yeah.
at least 2 weeks to get to there.
Yeah, I agree. So
Unless
we
you
all-
want to cut through the forest.
It'd probably be harder to do with animals.
Yep.
honestly, and the forest is kind of scary and dangerous to begin with.
True. Yeah.
So like,
It's easy to navigate around. You can see the trees.
this is true. So
Yeah, this could be the marker, that big tree.
what I'm thinking is I would feel comfortable if we had 2 water barrels, because that's basically we're going to use one whole barrel to get there. And then, assuming anything goes wrong, we'll have extra water to dip into and all that. And-
Theoretically, we can top off in Glossy Vale.
Mhm.
yeah, which
And if we're by the river too,
Uh-huh.
that's true.
food
Maybe
would
we
be
could
good
get-
to get
maybe
lots
we could
of.
get- Maybe we
Yes.
could get by with one, but there's 4 of us, and if we're assuming it's a 14-day journey, that means we need, like, math is hard. Was it 56 rations?
That's a lot.
Yeah, but we don't need them all up front. I'm assuming Glossy Vale also sells rations.
Yeah, but do you want
Oscar Town for sure.
Do you wanna-
Oscartown has tons of rations.
Take these 500 hot dogs.
But
We
do you want
got-
to depend on that? Like,
I mean, when
I mean,
Like
if we
we-
call ahead, then they'll have it ready for us.
I mean, what do they eat in town? They got to eat something.
I
And then
don't know.
camera cuts to a famine that's happening in Glossy Vale.
We've come to top off our food.
And they're like,
We got a famine.
"Food. We've got a famine. What do you have? We're going to take it from you."
Mm-hmm.
No, there's not a famine.
Yeah, either way, it's probably best that we get as many barrels as we can hold and as much food and water, regardless of what our destination is.
Do we still have just the one pack animal so far?
Yeah, the chicken.
And so the chicken's got a 15. Do we decide, is it a large pack animal?
It's a pack animal.
It's a big animal. Big.
So it's okay. There's a difference between a normal pack animal and a large
there?
pack animal. Yeah, a normal one can hold 15. A large one can hold 30.
Oh, it's just a pack animal. I would
So
assume
it's-
it's chicken.
Aw.
So it's
okay.
15. Yeah,
So it can hold, what, 2 barrels in a chest?
Yeah,
Or 3 barrels?
Yes.
I already have a barrel in the chest for it, so if you want more,
yeah. So it's got room for another barrel though.
narrow barrel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And barrels are only 10 gold.
Chests have 15, so if we're holding food, it would be good to get a chest instead of a barrel. Barrel's good for water.
I have a chest.
Cool.
It's in the party kit.
And that's got the tent and all that stuff in it.
And yeah, you don't need to worry about, because I know tents hold 3, but I have one of the cape. Let me see which one it was. Basically, I use the cape as a blanket and bedding, so I don't need a sleeping bag or anything like that.
You guys are going to be in areas that you've already told are very rainy. So there's also maybe
I've got an umbrella.
raincoats you should get, or
Yeah, I'll have to get a raincoat.
those are
Rain-
400 gold.
That was the item that I picked up front.
Nice,
Mhm.
smart. So far, so do you guys want to buy pack animals?
That's up to you guys.
So I mean, it's kind of sounding like we don't need one, but I don't know.
But if you took farmer,
But is it fun?
Yeah, I would rather have one because I want to use that.
so that'll be at least 500 gold. If you want to get raincoats, that'll be $400 each. If you're wanting to get rations and not hunt for anything, basic rations. Where are those at? Traveling gear. The
It's
heck?
like 10 gold.
Oh, here it is.
No, wait. how
They're
much was it?
five gold for a single day's ration, and it goes bad in 24 hours. No, there's
That's
rations.
food.
10
Yeah, you're
gold.
looking at food. Oof.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Eat all your rations right now. So, and then if you're going to be 14 days times 4 people, that is like 56 times 10, so you need at least
It's-
560 gold for food. And your pack animal is 500 if you don't want to get any modifiers on it.
Get some modifiers on that pack animal, bro.
You want tough,
Yeah, baby.
or do you want baby? A baby pack animal that can't carry anything to begin with?
We already have a baby in the party.
Yeah, you already have a baby pack animal.
Get one that's clever. I don't know why you
I would, yes.
understands the
Which
tries
is
to follow
times
his-
3, so it's like a 1500 if you want a clever
a
one.
smart animal, I
Yeah.
mean, it's basically an extra party member. Why? not?
Get you-
Yeah.
Get you one with a bad attitude. Sometimes does not follow its owner's commands.
We'll budget for 1500 as what you want, and whatever you make in that time, you get what you get.
I may go with loyal more than clever because you can train it to be loyal, and then it won't run away in the middle of a fight, taking all of our supplies with it.
So it's looking at like so far, if raincoats too, you guys are gonna need a lot of
Yeah, we're looking at
things.
like $3,000 here.
Yeah.
Maybe a skosh more.
So looking at making, you need $3,000 to do what you need to do, and I think that's actually a pretty good stopping point for this recording session, because I think at this point you guys are ready to go make money and then do your packing up and getting information and all that stuff. Sound good?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
try and think of money making schemes. If only I was some class that specialized in that.
Yeah, if we need time to think about it. I was just thinking Musashi was just going to be like, I'm going to go do some labor. Or like, like I'm going to go and do some whatever. But yeah, if we want to think of like some bigger schemes, because we're already pretty close to $3,000. We got wood chips and 2,000 gold between me and Wilfred, and maybe like 50 coins from
Yeah.
Pico. So,
But if we don't have to dip into your guys' personal savings, if we can
Just-
make money as a party, that would probably be good.
just a quick though, like generally, Amber, how much would like manual labor jobs cost, or like what would be like the paying rate for that kind of stuff? Do
I guess
think?
you would have to go to Rhapsody Roads to find out.
Well, I meant like, you know what I mean. Like it was like, what's the worth of a 1 gold coin? Is it like if I had a job in Loam, if I was just an average Joe schmo and I was doing my paper routes?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you could think of it
Like-
as like the food ration. So I'm thinking like the 5 gold is like a 5 for 5 at Wendy's. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's $5. So if you're like wanting to make, 3,000 per you guys, like a short amount of time, it'd probably be like 3 days, all of you doing 2 days, maybe all of you doing hard labor. Let's do that. Let's say this is a good place that pays
Hmm
20 gold an hour.
Mhm.
If you wanted to do 8 hours of work,
Nope.
what?
Pico's not into it.
Yeah,
Hard
I know.
labor. Pff,
Yep.
I'm gonna go find some rich asshole to shake down.
Well, that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking like if we all split up and had different jobs.
Like so to give you an
whatever,
idea,
yeah.
106 you could probably make somewhere between 160 to 200 gold a day if you wanted to do 8 hours of manual labor.
Okay.
Okay?
That's kind of what I want.
Times 4 if you all were doing it, which sounds like all of you will not, because
Nope.
somebody is
No.
like, nope, I'm not going to do hard labor. You would be able to make 600 gold in one day.
I don't even want to plant
Just
trees.
doing hard labor. Now, there are perks and benefits that you can sometimes get at Rhapsody Roads, where you
Mhm.
could end up making more money doing ridiculous things, because it'll be special jobs, not just hard labor. I think you guys made like 1,200 gold when you just made juice that one time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Or I
And then
think you
also-
made I think you made 800 gold just helping shear sheep or something.
Yeah, which is definitely not hard labor. It's not. It's special. It's
Like
essentially.
when I think about hard labor, I'm thinking that you're going to be just on your like basically just pulling up weeds or all day long, or planting trees, or helping somebody tear something down, or move
shear
stuff
sheep.
around. There was like a whole process to that. Yeah.
There's a whole process. Okay.
Which makes sense because you still made, 600 gold.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just said hard labor is about 20 gold per hour. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but shearing sheep is a little bit of more of a specialized job. which required Babu to sing.
Yeah.
Is it ever required for Babu to sing? No. But did he do it anyhow? Yes.
Yes. He wasn't even a singing minstrel, if I remember correctly. He was supposed to be a storytelling minstrel. But he just,
Correct.
And we
He
had
would
to
just
do-
constantly sing.
And it was
Yes.
we had to do it for that lady who had like tons of cats or whatever, or like
Her husband had turned into 5 cats.
that's right. That's what it was. Her husband turned into 5 cats. That was
that's
an
just the
interesting
local-
job.
That was just the local rumors.
I'm in favor for these specialized jobs so we can make more weird stories like that.
Yes.
Where it's like my husband turned into 5 cats.
All right, so I have my work cut out for me in making sure that you guys have jobs to do that interest
Mhm.
you, and then we can do a montage of shopping, and then get you guys on the road. Sound
Okay.
about right?
Sounds fun.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, with that, we're done with the session.
Yay.
We're done.
It was a prep
XP.
session. No XP. No XP. The XP is.
I'm
the
just glad we have a plan for the next session, like
Yeah.
a game plan. Yeah.
Yep, and it helped me prep because I want to know what you guys want to do and how you want to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So, all right, then. Well, thank you. See you on the next recording. Bye.
Yay!
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening. If you've been enjoying Shapeshift, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It really does help the show out. Shapeshift is a part of the Geekspective Network where I host and co-host a lot of other cool shows. You can get information about the Geekspective shows by either following the Geekspective Twitter, that's at Geekspective, or going to the website at geekspective.com. I rarely talk about it on this podcast or promote it, but I also do a lot of stuff outside of the Geekspective Network. You can go to rocketorca.com to find out all the other podcasts and shows I've been on. This episode was edited by Rudy Basso. You can find him on Twitter at Rudy Basso. That's RUDYBASSO. Thanks, Rudy.